Welcome to Tejano Time Podcast, where we celebrate the music, culture, and traditions of Tejano music. Thanks for joining us as we sit down with the biggest names in Tejano music. From legendary artists to rising stars, we will talk about their latest projects, share stories from the road, and maybe dive into history and heritage of Tejano music. So grab your favorite drink, sit back, and enjoy this episode of Tejano Time. Here's your host, Keith Vian.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us right here on, of course, the Tejano Time Podcast, guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get these guys ready to go and unmute all their microphones. Sorry about that, guys. But yes, definitely. Thank you guys so much for joining us right here back to, again, on Monday right here. So we'd like to welcome all you guys back to the show. Mr. Antonio V, Amanda Cisneros también, my co-host. Thank you guys for joining me once again here on this Monday. And our very special guest tonight, Gigi La Sheekana Guerrero. Welcome to the Tejano Time Podcast.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Everything all right? You hear me?
Yes, loud
awesome.
and clear.
So, thank you, Keith Leal, for having me on your show. Thank you, Antonio and Amanda. I am super excited to be here. I'm actually on my way to Buda, Texas. I'm somewhere here north of San Antonio, not too sure where, at a Starbucks off of the freeway, because it was time for the show to go on. And you know, when the show must go on. So yes. Here I am.
There she is right there. And you guys, just for that free plug, she did get her for a cup of coffee as well on the house. Right. All right, just so you guys know. Yeah, there it is right there. So yes, we're gonna have a fun show today, guys. And while the sun is still out, right? You know,
right.
So again, guys,
real nice where you're at, Gigi. Is it real nice out there right now?
Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. It's the sunset with the red clouds over the sky and blue, and oh my gosh, it's just great to be alive, and it's a beautiful day. So it's awesome.
Yes. Well, we got lots to talk about. I know Amanda's ready for this interview as well. Mr. Tony, so Antonio, and we've got a lot, of questions for you as well. We want to talk about, things. But let's just get started with. We'll get to your new single here, your latest single here in just a bit right now. But let's talk a little bit about. She's a podcaster as well, guys. Okay, so it's for you, our listeners and viewers out there, if not familiar with Gigi, she's got a show called Giras y Desveladas. That's right.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your podcast.
So I am Gigi La Sheekana Guerrero. Soy hija de Juan Guerrero de los Chicanos. He was mostly known in Tejano music for the canción Ya Te Vi, Ya Te Vi, Ya Te Vi, Ya Te Vi. So, but also he wrote a lot of songs for Ramon Ayala, which went into different genres like Quisiera Tener Alas, Jardín Olvidado, El Tuerto, ¿Qué más quieres, corazón? And we played with our dad. We were part of Los Chicanos for over 30 years, and we were actually inducted into the Tejano Roots Hall of Fame class of 2021, and awesome. I believe along with you, no, Keith?
I was in 2024, yes, early this year.
Yes.
Well, last year,
but right. So we were inducted into the Tejano Roots Hall of Fame. My dad got to see us. My brother had passed away. He was our keyboard player and our sound man, and he passed in 2017. So basically, it was just us, and my dad made tracks of my brother's keyboard, and we would, play. We kept on like that. In 2022, my dad passed away, and we were beside ourselves, my sister and I, because a year after my brother passed, my mom passed as well. It was their only son, firstborn. I hope I never understand what that's about, but they were left too, and so I I had to do something with. I decided to keep my dad alive through his music by keeping his music alive. And one thing, and my dad being a musician since the '60s, being a pioneer of Tejano music,
Correct.
starting with Los Mandrills with and Falcon Records, who were the first band to ever go international with a song called. Um, Amor Imposible, written by Oscar Villarreal de Los Mandrills, that went all over the place. It went, I mean, and actually interviewed Nano Ramirez about it, where they were so excited that this had happened.
Mhm.
And just when they were on the verge of going to a tour in Puerto Rico, they had one last gig with Los Hermanos Banda, my dad and Oscar tagged along. And on the way back, there was a flat tire. Drunk driver hits the van. Oscar Villarreal, El Muchacho de Oro, passes away.
Wow.
So but my dad was just, I mean, a brilliant man, first of all, and even more brilliant musician, songwriter, composer. And so that's all he did. So, I mean, that's what we did too. We were
Mm.
kind of drawn into it, and that's what we saw around the house. That's what we heard around the house. So that's what we did. So after he passed, he told a lot of stories de sus giras y sus desveladas, right?
Mhm.
I mean, the walking in the snow with going and having another one while they were driving, fixing the timing chain on the bus, and
Wow.
all kinds of crazy stories. Yeah, changing out a motor for another one, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and crazy stories. I never got to record them. So after he was gone, I was like, chinela. So after he was gone, I started going to Tejano Legend Pioneers breakfast in McAllen, Texas, chapter 2. And there, I mean, all of my dad's friends were like, no, hombre, me acuerdo cuando esta vez que estábamos acá, y no, hombre, una vez no te dijo tu papá, did your dad ever tell you about? I mean, over and over. And I was like, you know what? I need to record this. I need to
Mhm.
record these. I need to document this because even though I didn't get it from my dad, all these legends, all these other pioneers, they have sons and daughters and
Yeah.
grandchildren. And, this needs to be preserved. And these guys actually invented Tejano music. I mean, I'm talking about Armando Chori Hinojosa from Los Fabulosos Cuatro, who said, yeah, we grab from here, we grab from there. I talked to Balde Munoz. He said when they asked us what kind of music do we play, they didn't know what to say because it wasn't conjunto, it wasn't norteño, it was just, a
Mhm.
mix. My dad loved the Beatles, so he
Mhm.
mixed a lot of Beatles into his music. And so Tejano is really drawing from norteño, conjunto, and the influence of rock and roll, the Beatles, jazz, orchestra, all of the above that America provides us in our culture, and combined with the Mexican culture and the language. So, we have light. And so,
Thank
so,
goodness for the street lights, huh?
uh, so so that's how I started my podcast, Giras y Desveladas. I knew nothing about it. I think I either asked you, Keith, or I asked Juan Mendoza, what app is there? I mean, I was clueless, but I was
Mhm.
determined. Clueless and that's the next title of my next book. Clueless and determined. And yeah. So and I started that podcast, and we started with the pioneers and the legends, talking about how Tejano started and how
Mhm.
it was created and all the influences. And a lot of people start, hey, why don't you interview so and so, and why don't you interview so and I was thinking, well, okay, so then we had like categories like pioneers, legends,
All
60s,
right.
70s, and then we had the golden era legends like, Bobby Pulido and Shelly Lares, Elida Levante, right? And then what I'd like to think as the upcoming legends, right? And so I said, well, you know what? Why not? As I started getting knee deep into this, I thought, man, I really want to keep this music alive,
Yeah.
um not when I was performing, it was just about, putting food on the table and keeping the roof over our heads. It wasn't about you know glam and glory, no.
Yeah.
It was about let's pay the rent, the mortgage. And so I thought, this needs to stick around. This music needs to stick around. And so I started, starting from the podcast. And with the influence and help from, well, the ideas that from the pioneers, I started the Tejano Music Legacy Foundation. And right now we have a pilot program in Edinburgh that draws in the students from Conjunto, because here in the Valley,
Mhm.
there's a lot of Conjunto. Almost all the high schools have Conjunto. They draw in from the mariachi and from the regular band, and we made Tejano. So
Nice.
Tejano, it's kind of like all over again. They're drawing in from the conjunto, which Tejano drew from, and started making Tejano again. So we're working on that. That was the pilot program in Edinburgh, and now we're looking into. As a matter of fact, this weekend I was talking to people from another school district about starting the Tejano program there as well, and incorporating it, because it's easy to incorporate, because the conjunto is the basics,
Yeah.
the foundation. So
What was the name of the
uh,
program?
the Tejano Music Legacy Foundation. We have a Facebook page.
Facebook.
Yeah, a Facebook group, and you're welcome to donate. Cling,
So is it specific to grade
cling.
levels? Is it specific to grade levels? Is it elementary, high school, middle
Right,
school?
right now we targeted the high school, because they're already at the high school level. They're already ready to adapt another genre,
Mhm.
But definitely, conjunto was first started in the high schools. It's trickling down to the middle schools and
Mhm.
even some elementaries. So that Tejano, just simply because it's a little bit more progressive, a little bit more progressive notes. Of course, we have the brilliant students that will pick it up.
Yes.
But that's all in the making. That's all in the making. And
Mhm.
definitely our baby was in Edinburgh first at Economy this high school, where Grupo Frontera came from, and Payo and all them. So
Mhm.
definitely is exciting. So a lot of things happened after my dad passed away. I started the podcast. I started hanging out with the pioneers. I created the foundation, and and then to keep my dad's music alive, he had his own publishing company, Hugrimar, and so we took it over. It was solely his, so we had to take it over, and that was a lot of legalities involved in that. But we're
Mhm.
ready to push Juan Guerrero songs for everybody who's out there now. As you well know, and Más Antes especially,
Mhm.
sacaban todo un album, ¿verdad? But they only featured maybe one or two songs, and the
Correct.
rest of the songs, pues, se perdían, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
So my dad has, I mean, not just because he's my dad. Listen to the music and you judge for yourself. When after he passed away, Rick Garcia, and saludos to Rick Garcia, saludos también a Juan Mendoza and Laila Lisa and everybody out there who's been helping out Gigi and all the people I've met along the way. Um, it's been a journey, and very interesting journey. Um, but Rick Garcia said, what I asked him, can we do like an homenaje album, and kind of pick and choose some songs that me dad, to just keep his music alive. That was the first idea to begin with. And he
Mhm.
said, yes. And so there's an album de Juan Guerrero, look it up, La Chicano, called Homenaje a Juan Guerrero. And there were songs that from the album that Ya Te Vi came from, which was the original in 1984, which is different from what you hear from Elsa made popular, because it was his it was the original uh version that he created. When Ramon
Mhm.
Ayala got a hold of it, he kind of did he Ramon Ayala fight it.
Yeah.
I just made up a
Yeah.
word.
But Tony, get the dictionary and see if it's
Yeah,
in there.
Yeah.
yeah, check.
Oh
Ramon
yeah,
Ayala,
I
Ramon
typed it
Ayala,
in right away when she said that.
Ramon Ayala fight. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's the version Elsa heard, and she mentions it. She mentioned it in some interviews, and when I talked to her, she said, I love the song, but I think it would work better sung by a woman." And boy, was she right! Right, it definitely hit some females' heartstrings better than
Mhm.
maybe the male. And so that was the plan. I'm a certified teacher with a master's degree in special education, but without my dad and my mom and my brother, my life changed.
Yeah.
and so I delved into this, just a panzazo, a ver qué pasaba. Yeah, and while I was busy with the podcast and the Hugrimar and the foundation, Rick says, "You know what, Chichi? I've been hearing your songs that you recorded with your dad, and they're pretty damn good." Pardon my French. And I said, "Okay, well, they're my dad's song. My dad wrote them." He said, "Yeah, why don't we take it out?" So I was like, "Yeah, take it out." And then and honestly, I was too busy with everything else. I swear to God, I wasn't really focusing on what he had said. And he's like, "Hey, Gigi, can you get me like a cover for the CD?" And I was like, I was like so busy with all the other stuff that I was like, "Okay, I found." We were outside of my nephew's band banquet, and there was this cute couch. I told my sister, "Hey, take a picture with me here." And and we take that picture. And that ends up being my CD cover. Did not plan that at all.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay. So that's how you got that picture.
Mhm.
as we were leaving, toda sin makeup, ready. If you look closely, my boots are even unzipped at that point. I'm ready to head out. And yeah. So and so all of a sudden I'm like, so he pushes it out and like, okay, okay, it's out there, and like, it's okay. You can say that it's on all digital platforms. Okay, so on all digital platforms. And then it's like, oh my God, I have a song out. It's out on all digital
Finally,
platforms.
it just hit you,
It
right?
really hit
Oye,
you. Yeah.
tardó, pero la peseta cayó, pero tardó.
Uh-huh.
you know? And I was like, oh my goodness. And then so all of a sudden, I'm in the realm of a Tejano artist, and now as a solo artist. And now I realize how much my dad not only protected but overprotected us from a lot of things in the business that are kind of yucky. Kind of a little bit yucky. But and as I've been through this, and as I witness and get to know more people, I've decided that I'm going to just put everything on a high note and put a positive spin on everything. I,
Mhm.
para acabarla de fregar, I got a diagnosis that is a little yucky also, a medical diagnosis. So that even made me con más ganas hacer todo con más ganas.
Mm.
So at first, when somebody said, "Are you going to go to fanfare?" Oh, whatever, yuck. And I was like, yeah, let's do fanfare. So I went and did fanfare, and I did all that stuff. And it's definitely a different perspective when you have all these experiences happen to you. It, it it puts a light on the important things. What are the important things?
Mhm.
Giving to people, helping people, um, and just doing your best, you know. And that's what I'm doing. And that's simply what I'm doing. In the
Awesome.
meantime, yes, and in the meantime, I don't know, because I don't know what diagnosis it is. I'm sure I need to go to the doctor for this, but my mind is always like a jillion miles a second. I swear, no
Yeah.
puedo, no puedo. So dealing with my dad and my brother and my mom and all that, and I was journaling, and as I would tell people about my story, they're like, "You should write a book. You've heard that, right? You should write a book." I
Mhm.
mean, too many people. You should write a book. I said, you know what? I should write a book, and I did.
Oh
Ahora
wow, wow. See?
I wrote a book. And so now you can go on Amazon.com and look for Forged from the Fire. And as it turns out, I thought it was being very unique, but it's not a unique title. So, but look for Gigi La Sheekana Guerrero, Forged from the Fire, and you'll find my book. And right now it's actually number one on the 30-minute reads on ebook. Right now it's available only on ebook. I'm still working on the back cover of the paperback, but it's number one on the 30-minute reads, and number three on something else, and number six on whatever categories they have. I don't know. Right now I can't. I don't remember, but
Well,
um,
congratulations.
thank
Congratulations.
you. And like I said, I what I did with that book is try to that passion that I feel for life now.
Mm.
That gusto, that I mean, none of us never know when we're going,
Mhm.
but I got a little bit of a heads up more than anybody else. So you ask yourself, if I was told this, what would I do? What
Mhm.
Mhm.
do I want to do with
What
my
would you do
life?
differently? Yes.
What would you do differently? Right. And all of a sudden you find purpose, hopefully. You find purpose, and you find what you want to do. It's more like a it's like to inspire. It's more because at first I'm not gonna lie, it was like, oh, this jerk and and this so and so. My journaling, I was being very honest, but I was going through with a friend of mine, teacher friend of mine. She's like, I know you went through all this, but what if you could put a positive spin on it? I mean, you survived all this. You're
Mhm.
still here. You're doing this and this and this. And I said, you know what? You're right. And as a matter of fact, today, I got a call from a female, no names, but she was crying. She was crying, and she said, "Thank you for writing that book.
Mhm.
Thank,
Mm.
because you're inspiring me, because I've been through that, and I needed that, and I needed to hear that." And then I'm done. You know what? If I always tell myself, if one person gets help by this, then
Right.
I'm good.
Your purpose
Mhm.
has been fulfilled.
Yes, my purpose has been fulfilled. For her to call me and she's like, "I'm gonna cry." I said, "Go ahead and cry." And she's like, "No, I really, you're inspiring me to go on, because I went through some difficult stuff too, and now I want to go on." And I said, "Well, then go on, go
Go on.
forward." Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick
After,
shout out break right quick. Yeah, so
all
you
right,
can
yes,
down
I'm
some
from
more
that TED
coffee.
Talk, right? My TED Talk
Uh,
version.
yes, we got TDK in there. TDK says,
Hey,
is that
TDK.
my favorite Sheekana?
Yes, hi, TDK.
Oh, so sweet.
We also got Diana Chavez watching the show. TDK
Hi,
also
Dana.
says, hello, Amanda, Keith, and Tony. Saludos, my brother. Thank you so
Hey.
much. Saludos, folks. Luis Garcia is watching as well.
Hi, Luis.
TDK also says Amanda does her research. She's always prepared. And we're going to get to some questions from
Oh, I
Amanda here
haven't. I
shortly.
know I
Absolutely.
haven't given her a chance. Like, Gigi can talk.
Para Mr. DJ Taz, Ruben Garcia, good evening. Saludos, my brother.
Hi,
Thank you so
DJ.
much for tuning in. Also, La
Saludos to
Doña
Mrs.
Chingona.
Taz.
Yes.
Ooh, hola, Doña Chingona. Awesome. Glad to have everybody on
Saludos.
here.
Mr. Gilbert Zamora is tuned in. He says, what's up, y'all? All the way from HEB in Laredo, waiting in line grocery shopping. Los tortillas, carnal? Unos tortillas, no?
Hello, Mr. Zamora. Thank you for
Gilbert
coming in.
Zamora as well. Saludos once again, Mr. DJ Taz as well. We got Norma Salazar watching as well. Saludos, Norma.
Norma, she's my co-host on Hidelitas
Yes.
Veladas.
I was just going to say that. Yes. So
Awesome.
doing great things with Norma as well. And
Mhm.
she says, hey, love Gigi La Sheekana Guerrero. So Norma
Love her. And her husband is George Salazar, the
Salazar.
Mexican sensation.
Yes, definitely. We definitely got a spot coming up for those guys as well. We weren't able to get them on
Yes.
last week, but or I believe it was last week or the prior week.
Well, he
But
was
we're
a little
definitely
sick,
working.
and continue
Yes, I
prayers.
definitely
Continue
yes
prayers for
prayers
him.
for him. Hopefully, on get well soon. Mr. Alejandro C. Garcia también says hello, everyone. Joe Leal, saludos y bendiciones, amigos.
Saludos.
Saludos.
Sandy Peña as well is tuned in. Hello, everyone, and
Hi,
hey,
Sandy.
Gigi.
Hi, Andy.
And who else we got here? Let's see. We got let's see.
Oh, I haven't shared the show. I haven't done anything. Oh my goodness.
Mr. George Vences también is on there right now. That's right. Gigi is amazing. Yes, wonderful,
Hi, Mr.
great
Vincent.
person. Vic Martinez is from Phoenix, Arizona. He's tuned into the show as
Oh,
well.
awesome. Hi.
Saludos everyone from Celeste Escobar from here in H-Town, right? Another upcoming artist right here doing great things. Yes. Saludos. So everybody that's tuned into the show, share the live, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in here to Tejano Time Podcast, and everyone on Tejano TV también as well. And don't forget, you can also catch a Gigi show there on Tejano TV as well, streaming live as well también. And your show is on Sundays, ¿verdad, Gigi?
Yes, it used to be noonish, but then for a short stint, we had Johnny Canales' sister, and
Hmm.
she's like, "It's really noon is too early, Gigi, on Sunday." And I was like, you know what? I agree. So we changed it. So now it's at
Okay.
two. Now it's at two ish.
True.
Two-ish. Okay, cool. So you guys make sure to tune into her show. También it's also live on social media, on Facebook, también YouTube. So look her up, you guys. That's right. Tiras y Desveladas. Look her up in there and search. Give her a follow. Give her a like on the page, or subscribe to her YouTube channel también as well. So that's there.
Yes, thank you, thank
Always
you.
got some great artists on there as well. Whether, like she said, a lot of legends también is on the show. So you guys can pick up a lot of the old school stuff as well as the new stuff también. So why not?
Oh
So
yes, definitely. If you want to check the history on Tejano, look up the conversation with, there was two actually, because Armando Chorinojosa can talk from Fabulosos Cuatro. Oh my goodness! So we had two-hour specials with him, and then we had, let's see, we had Carlos Guzman, and we had Valde Muñoz, and we had Buga Perales, and the older guys, Carlos Guzman, of course, Chinelas from the Latin breed. I can't think of, sorry guys if I can't think of your names right now, but also Elsa Garcia, David Ligarza. David Ligarza actually played accordion on the next single that's coming up. Um, and the one with my dad, the last recordings we did with my dad. And ¿quién más? David Farias. No, there's, look up in there. Thank you so much, Keith. And um, I mean, just trying to get the word out there. And
yeah.
I think somebody asked me like, what am I using for my app on another interview that I had, and I went ahead and shared, because the more the merrier, the more we get this genre out there, the better.
Hmm.
That's what I
Yeah.
think.
For sure, for sure. Before we get to Amanda, one more quick one here from Mr. Bobby Castaneda. It says here, let's see. Hello, everyone. I
Hi,
love this
Bobby.
podcast. Loves this podcast, and he does Desveladas también. So, yes.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Great
thank
guys.
you.
Thank you so much, Bobby. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. TDK says, thanks for the shout out. He says, I love the show. He does Desveladas. Meeting Gigi at the Tejano Music Awards was definitely a highlight I'll never forget.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Kiana Huerta también is tuned in. Hello. She's tuned in. I believe she's over in New Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Yes. So,
Wow.
Nice.
saludos, another
Welcome.
rising star there in the Tejano scene también. So, saludos.
Welcome.
All right, guys. So, we got Amanda up there right now. Is just biting her lip right now.
She's like, man, she never shut up.
No, welcome, welcome. It is such a pleasure to meet you, Miss Gigi. I can tell you're a fireball, you're a firecracker. You have such a plethora of information. You just, you've seen a lot, you've been through a lot because of what your dad has done in the music industry and the Tejano music industry, which is absolutely amazing. You mentioned keeping Tejano alive in the music. What do you think about the current state of Tejano music, and where do you think it's going to be in the next few years?
The only thing I can say is that I hope it goes forward. There is definitely an upswing, but a lot of people say, it kind of up and down curve. That's why I started the Tejano Music Legacy Foundation, just because there's a big gap. There's a generational gap right there of students that there's like, okay, Selena died and now, but there's so many artists and there's so many talented artists out there that people don't know their names. As a matter of fact, it was through Keith Leal and through Juan Mendoza Jr. that I started learning about the artists that are out there. There's so much talent. It's and
Yes.
it yes, and it needs to be exposed, and people need to know about them. I mean, I won't even start to name names because there's so many, a lot more women, which is so awesome to
Yes.
see. So awesome to see much more women out there already performing and doing well, and more power to all of us. And I think by
Absolutely.
doing this, by Keith Leal doing his show, me doing Hidas y Desveladas, and everybody else, and we promote each other and help each other for it to grow. And that is my hope
Absolutely.
and dream that that's what happens.
So, and that's why I was asking you
Sure.
with the foundation, what grade level or where you were geared towards, and you said mainly high school right now. But what do you think of? And you said maybe hopefully later you'll integrate maybe middle school or elementary school, correct?
Right, and that's definitely up to the school district because
Yeah.
we can only offer what we offer is like for this school. Linda Escobar donated a Honor accordion, Male Heart Music donated a guitar, and Los Chicanos, us, we donated a bass guitar, and that's where we're heading. We can help them and with because we need like keyboards and stuff. It's
Mhm.
all still since the Hana Music Legacy Foundation is still fairly new as a foundation, and our motto is to preserve the past. So we're also working on getting our pioneers into the museums,
Mm.
celebrating the present, which is what I do and you do with with the podcast. Celebrate the ones that are here in the now and get
Mm.
them heard and get them be out, and then inspire the future. And that's the part where we're in the schools. So
Mhm.
Tejano Music Legacy Foundation is a it's a lot to cover. The music in the schools is just one aspect of it.
Mm.
Wow.
Awesome. Hello from Ivan y Fuego. That's right.
Hi, Bonnie Fuego.
Ivan Ramos y Fuego, 15 years strong. That's right. From up
Awesome.
north. Those guys are amazing. Yes. I'm waiting on some new music, Michael. That's right. Saludos, Michael J. Ibarra. That's right. And guys, I know Tony's just there. Are you with us, Tony?
Yeah, I'm still researching some of these words that Gigi keeps throwing out. So.
Ramona Ayala fied.
Oh.
So, what are you most excited about? For the rest of the, we're in 2025 right now. As the Gigi, what are you most excited about right now within the music that you have put out right now, and more that you're going to put out in the future as well? What's itching you right now?
The plans right now, that's why I'm still Gigi Guerrero y Los Chicanos, because the music de Los Chicanos is
Hmm.
actually Me Voy a Casar, the singles out right now. It's actually my brother on keyboards.
Okay.
That's him playing. And that's my dad on guitar and bass
Mm.
guitar because my sister was busy having a baby when we were recording. So when you play Me Voy a Casar, you hear my brother and my dad come alive in that music
That's beautiful.
because they recorded that. Also on the drums is Cristina la Fabulosa Hinojosa, hija de Juan Hinojosa de los Fabulosos Cuatro, and she does the drumming on that. She recorded with us, so it's a very special song for me. We're going to still kick out some songs that were still done with Los Chicanos, and then I guess in the future, I mean, I am not Juan Guerrero. I do write songs. I do not write Juan Guerrero type songs. I write Gigi songs,
Hmm.
Um, so they're very different from Juan Guerrero. So as long as I'm gonna be pushing out the songs that Juan Guerrero Los Chicanos, and then when that runs out, the future plans are for my own songs to be out, and my
Right.
songs are are like I said a little bit different, and it's a I have a different influence in my dad, and in as far as what influenced me. So
Yeah.
of course my dad was a big influence on me. So and that's the plans out there, and just like Papi said, a darle hasta que truene.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very true to that for sure. And we have one of the songs. So tell me a little bit first before we get to the song that you have out right now, SDGG. So you write music?
I write music. Donde está Papa? You can look for it on all your digital platforms. Donde está Papa was a song that I wrote that was recorded at Hacienda Records in Corpus in the Rick Garcia era over there in
Hmm.
Corpus in 19 no mentiras 2013 I believe. So yeah, I write my own songs as well. But of course, I was always under Papi's shadow and I was fine there. I was happy. I was comfortable. I was protected, loved. I was fine there under his shadow. I did not need to be Gigi. I could be Juan Guerrero's daughter. I
Yeah.
was good with that. Now, pues, now that he's gone, I do need to come out of that. And so, as soon as we're done, like I said, with those songs that we have with
Mhm.
Los Chicanos, then on our own.
You'll
And this one in particular, Papi was the kind of dad. Beyond loving. He was super loving dad, super understanding, and he never meddled in our affairs. And even Gigi made some bad mistakes and some bad decisions. Papi siempre llegó con cariño y entendimiento. He always approached me with a loving, you know, way to go about things. And sometimes if Gigi still didn't get it, Papi would write a song.
yeah, so that's how it comes together right there, definitely. And
Yes,
those are songs from the heart right there. You know what I mean? Experiences, life experiences, and things like that.
yes.
Where they come into play. It's not just something you put together. Just like you said, if you didn't listen, well, there's another song right there. You know what I mean?
and, and in this case, I had gotten divorced and I had met a new guy a few years afterwards, and my dad liked him, and he asked me to marry him, just like it said. But the ex was still, fregando, right? And and
To sum it up,
to sum it up, in a nice manner. And so we're getting ready to record, and my dad, usually what he would do was hum the song. He'd play the music, it kind of goes like this, and make me figure it out. Give me the lyrics and let me figure it out. However, como quiera que me saliera, así iba a salir. And as I'm reading along, and I'm like, no quiero tus besos, no quiero tu amor, no quiero que me hables, ya no, por favor. Ya tengo a otro amor de verdad. I was like, that's my story.
Wow.
Okay, I got it, puppy. Let go of that other guy and get married to this guy. I got it. I got you. I end up
yeah,
didn't marry. I end up
awesome.
not marrying him after all, but that's another
Mhm.
story.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess that's another song.
Yeah, that's
El-
another night out at Starbucks, right?
Yeah.
Right. Cling.
So let's go ahead and play your new tune right quick so everybody can take a listen to it right now, the ones that have not or they're tuned into the show, guys. And as well, share the live if you're watching right here on Tejano Time Podcast. My guest tonight, Gigi La Sheekana Guerrero, she is here and she's promoting her new single, Me Voy a Casar, right? And that's the single that's out, her latest single. It's available on all digital platforms. So, guys,
Yes.
go out there and stream it, guys, okay? It's right there. And this is not the original picture, right, that you took there on the sofa, right?
Right.
We'll be right back, guys. Check it out. We'll talk about it.
Hey, no quiero tus besos, no quiero tu amor, no quiero que me hables, ya no, por favor. No eres sincero y ahora lo sé. Ya tengo a otro y sabes qué. Me quiero un anillo, me voy a casar. Y a ti poco a poco te voy a olvidar. Ya tengo otro amor de verdad. Sigue tu camino, yo te voy a olvidar. Yo te voy a olvidar. Hey, no quiero tus besos, no quiero tu amor, no quiero que me hables, ya no, por favor. No eres sincero y ahora lo sé. Ya tengo a otro y sabes qué. Me dio un anillo, me voy a casar. Y a ti poco a poco te voy a olvidar. Ya tengo a otro amor de verdad. camino, yo te voy a olvidar. Yo te voy a olvidar. I'm not gonna answer. De un anillo me voy a casar y aquí poco a poco te voy a olvidar. Ya tengo otro amor de verdad. Sigue tu camino, yo te voy a olvidar.
Me voy a casar right there. Gigi Guerrero y los Chicanos right here. Tejano Time Podcast. That is her current single right now that's available to download and stream on all digital platforms, guys. So if you like it, go out there and add it to your playlist. That's right. And we got my boy right here, Mr. Antonio V. What's good? What did you think about the song, Tony?
Man, Gigi, that was an awesome song. I mean, listening to you talk and listening to you sing, that's two different people, and you got a beautiful, amazing voice. That's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you though.
No.
No question.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about one of these words, but we'll do that later.
It's called Ramon Ayala Fight.
Well, I was still thinking about Pampaso, but we'll get that. We'll get that later. What do you think? Right now we're 2025, right? So what do you think about the way that technology, the way the music is getting out to the world, because it's not just the public, right? To everybody compared to, back, obviously, you have a lot of, you've had a lot going on, family wise and stuff. So going back to when your dad was still with you and everything, or with us, how music was distributed. What do you think about the technology, how everything has changed now and stuff?
Well, I think that kind of goes with the question that Amanda, because I think now it is worldwide. I mean, we've got people loving Tejano in Japan, This is our time. This is our time. If we're seeing Peso Pluma coming out on Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like that, I mean, that means it's our time. It's our time. This is a perfect time. It's definitely a different era when my dad was around. I remember, I mean, I found los discos, los 45s, los de Falcon with the orange label, and going out to distribute and, selling them at the gigs and all that kind of stuff, and having to go to the station to deliver them and stuff like that. It's quite a little different now. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think if this weren't around, I don't think I'd be in it.
Right. Yeah.
Seriously, because it's I'm home most of the time. If anything, most of my work is done at home, through the internet, through the media. And as a matter of fact, that's why I'm going to Buda, Texas right now, because a friend of mine is a little ill, and I'm going to go help her out. And I have the opportunity because I'm working through my computer, and I can, haul it out there and help her out and be there a little bit. So it's a wonderful thing. I mean, it can be a double-edged sword, yes, because you've got some negative things that can happen.
Right.
But for the most part, especially as far as this industry is concerned, it's such a positive thing to have, and the ease of it makes it much more accessible to more people.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah, because I think once the song is out and it's on social media, you've got all these people that that shouldn't be putting it there and putting it there. Before you know it, that song in less than an hour, it's already 20, 30 different social platforms.
Yeah.
Whether it's legal or not, copyright, it's still getting out there, and that's what to me, that helps the artist.
Songs are being stolen since caveman times, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's just they're just easier to steal now. As a matter of fact, I do have a story about that where I was doing a video of my dad, one of my dad's songs from the 70s with Falcon Records, and when I put it on there, it was giving the credit to some other guy. I was like, what?
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
this is totally original, the Juan Guerrero, completely 100%. And
Mhm.
I was like, what is this? And so, because of my research abilities, I found him. I found him. I tracked him down. I got his number. I called him, and I was like, "Hey," after I calmed down. So I noticed. So I was gonna use my dad's song, and it was giving credit to you. How did that happen? You know? And then what he told me, I'm gonna be honest. I was upset at first because, I mean, that's my dad, and that's my dad's song, and he was claiming it. Oh, okay. He says, "You know what, ma'am? I live here in Washington. I'm 20 years old. I'm a rapper. I'm a hip hop artist. And I don't have an identity here. No hay nadie como yo aquí. I'm looking for my roots. And I made a song and I found this song and I sampled it and used it in my song. And I don't know how it happened that I'm getting the credit for your dad's song. And I'm sorry about that." And after he told me that, I was like, oh my God, this newer generation, a 20-year-old, 20 some year old,
From
found my
Washington.
dad's song from Washington and loved my dad's songs from the 70s. And it influenced him to sample it and put it in his song. What's happening over here? So I was like, you know what? That's actually awesome.
That's a big compliment. Big compliment.
Yeah, it changed my perspective. Um, you know, and and that's how I really started thinking that, well, you know what? Everybody should be singing my dad's songs.
Mhm.
Um, why not? That's why I
Right.
started to pursue Jugrimar. Jugrimar was kind of stagnant after my dad passed, and nothing was being done with it. And I'm the one who created Jugrimar, and Jugrimar is Juan Jr. Griselda. My dad named me Griselda after a monkey song. Auntie Griselda, look it up, it's crazy. And Mary Lou, which is a song he wrote con los mandrels, Cita con Marilu. So Jugrimar is just my dad's children.
Mm.
And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna take that on, and I'm gonna push Hugrimar. I'm gonna push for so many bands always looking for songs and don't know what to record. Aquí está. Here it
There you
is.
go.
There
There
it
it is.
is. There you go. Yeah.
Mm.
Awesome.
Did
Great
I answer
deal.
your question? I don't know.
But
Don't get me
Gigi.
started.
Hey, we're
So,
good. We're good. I love your energy.
Yes.
That's awesome. This is your show, like Keith, tells everybody.
Yes.
You got something. Get it out there. This is your time.
Thank
And
Yeah.
you. I
I
appreciate
don't
it.
know if you
It's
answered my
weird.
question or not.
I know, right? I think I did. I think, but you know what? I met Keith Leal and his beautiful wife over there at Janie's record shop, and at that time, I was starstruck with Keith Leal. I was like, "Oh my God, you're Keith Leal!" Like to me, I was a brand new podcaster, and he had already been doing it, and he already had his own podcast, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I was telling my sister, "That's Keith Leal. Who? Keith Leal." Like, oh, you don't even, oh, you don't even know,
yes.
and so you definitely uh because you are an influence, and we become, and now I've gotten people to tell me the same thing. Uh
Yeah.
but I think in the same vein of helping people out, of being there and just being true to the genre and just trying to do your best. I don't I have my middle name is technical difficulties, okay? That's my middle name.
Well, we have one of those. Yes, that's she's right on top.
Don't put me
Yeah.
on stage because I have those problems too.
Yeah, and it happens, pero as I think, as long as we're telling a good story and we're trying to do justice to the artist,
Yeah.
then we're good,
Yeah.
it va a salir bien. Mhm.
Well, we got a few more minutes, but we definitely want to congratulate you, Gigi, on your upcoming female nomination over at the 7th Annual All Star Music Awards. Also, your nomination for Best Podcast también over at the All Star Music Awards. That's right. So you were nominated in 2 categories. So congratulations
Yes,
to you on that
thank
as well.
Congratulations to
Best
you,
of luck.
you so much.
Gigi.
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate. And like I always say, now I already won. I promise you when I was not feeling good that day and my phone kept going off and off. I'm like, man, Amber Alert or the weather again, right? I mean, some the weather that's been crazy.
The one that got
And
away.
and I, or him and leave me
That's
alone.
another song.
Geriando.
I'm not gonna answer. and and then I finally get up and it's like congratulations, congratulations, and I was like, what? And when hi David Villa, and when I saw that I was nominated, man, I'm just bawling because
Aw.
more than anything, it's not for me. I'm just interpreting the song. It's my dad's song. He wrote it, he created it, he arranged it, he did everything on it. I was just singing the words. That is all honor to my dad. And now the podcast, that is my baby. And because of my dad, right? So it's all honor to him as well. But that really is totally my baby. And I feel I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm just so honored just for my name to be on there as one of the nominees. I'm already good. I already gave myself the award.
Yes.
I'm gonna take a picture, like, a picture of the nomination there. Ya gané, because it, not everybody got nominated,
Yeah.
and so then you start to think like so many other people deserve to be on here, and I thought, okay, I'll just gonna let it go, and just be glad that I'm on here, and just do my part, and all those people that should be nominated uh, are gonna be on my show. you
Yeah.
know and that's how they win. They win by listen for the people listening to them. They win by me or Keith putting on their songs
Yep.
for people to listen in
Yep.
case they haven't had a chance. That's how they win, and that's how I'm helping them win, by being in the public eye and sharing their music, which is their love, which is their passion, with everybody else, and so everybody wins.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Anything else you got up on top there, Amanda?
No, I'm loving your
Not
energy.
anything.
Just like Antonio said, you speak truth, and I can't wait to definitely get to meet you in person. I always enjoy meeting somebody that has fire, that has heart. You seem to be a very unbelievable person. The foundation that you started, I think it's amazing, and the stories you can tell.
Oh my god. No, look, I'm gonna warn you right now. If I see you
Dime,
face to
dime.
face, no te voy a conocer.
Oh
I
yeah.
have I have social anxiety. So I'm like a deer in headlights. You can be right in front of my face and I will like I'm talking to you right now and like you come walk into Starbucks, no sé quién eres. I promise you.
You're like,
So you,
mira,
yeah, yes, and you'll have to be like, Gigi, we just talked. I think,
mira.
be kind. I'm elderly.
Ay, cállate.
So what's next for you, Gigi? Coming going forward, any new music in the works?
Yes, we've got new music in the works. I know I shouldn't even say it anymore, but for real, there is gonna the plan fell through for a video for Me Voy a Casar, and I'm like, man, ya me casé, ya me divorcié, ya me casé otra vez, and still no video. So that is still supposedly in the works, and I actually have one of the newer artists, Heather Jolene. She's like, hey, I like your song, and listen to this, and she added all these voices, and she me comenzó a segundear and all this. And I was like, oh man, that's nice. I sent it to Rick. Rick's like, I like that. I said, you know what? When we do the video, when we do the video,
¿Cuándo? ¿Pa'
with
cuándo?
Wando, then we'll put in the new version of it in there
Nice.
and put it out. There'll be a collab with Heather Jolene. So and after that, there's Rick Garcia is just waiting for me to say yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now
let's
can we put
go.
out the other song? Yeah. So that's in the works. And lo mismo, like lo mismo. The podcast, si Dios quiere, Tejano Music Legacy Foundation. Go to the page, donate, por favor. It's for the children. Jugrimar still going. And for those, if I do not reach out to you with Jugrimar music, look up Juan Guerrero, look up Los Chicanos, SHEEKANOS on YouTube, and you'll get a plethora of songs for you to record. Record them. Record them. They're beautiful songs. Listen to them. As a matter of fact, I might on May 2nd, on my dad's birthday, maybe do a tribute to him and maybe play some more of his songs. ¿Qué más? Cantar, gozar, amar a la vida, amar a la gente que me rodea, la gente que me apoya, a ustedes. Y just be grateful, and just wake up with an attitude of gratitude every morning, every day that we are here on earth. That's it.
Sure. Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure to have you on the show tonight, Gigi. We definitely want to thank you for being up late with us right now. I know you're on the road. I know you need to get to your destination.
Yes.
So hopefully you make it there and you make it there safely as well. But
Yes,
again,
thank
as
you.
always, we appreciate you and any artist that comes on the show también, for taking the time just to join us on here for this hour and whatnot to share their music with our audience and everybody out there in TV land también over on Tejano TV and whatnot. So
Yes, saludos to everybody.
definitely. Yeah. And one other quick question. You're on Facebook. You're on what other social media platforms are you on? Where can they find you at?
So on Facebook, it's Gigi La Sheekana Guerrero, like you see my name there. And also, Giras y Desveladas is on Facebook. Giras y Desveladas is on YouTube. And Giras y Desveladas is on Tejano TV, just like Keith Leal and Tejano Time Podcast. Yeah.
For sure. So you guys go out there and give her a like, a follow, subscribe to her YouTube channel.
Yes, please.
And,
I only have like me and my sister. Like, please subscribe.
Go out there and check it out, guys. For sure. Any last words from you, Tony? Antonio,
thank you.
Antonio.
No, Gigi, it was a pleasure meeting you. Hopefully we get to see each other in person. I know I'm going to be in San Antonio quite a bit throughout.
Remember, just
I'm
walk
also-
slowly, careful, and say,
Be
I am.
nice.
You already know me. We already talked. Be nice. Remind me a little bit.
I'm going to remind you with some of these words I have written down. And this is like
It's
that.
not a real word. I checked.
No, anyways, I love your energy. I love the positive attitude that you have,
Thank you.
and keep doing you. It sounds like you still have some stuff to do.
Yeah.
But what you just said a little while ago, let's be grateful for today, and let's be grateful for another day tomorrow también. So
That's right. That's all we can do.
All right, guys. Well, you guys have a blessed night, all of you guys. Definitely hang tight. Don't. How do you say it?
Log off just yet.
Yeah, don't log off just yet, guys. So just hang tight. But we definitely want to thank you once again for joining us here on the show. Until next time, Gigi, best of luck with everything that you have going forward in this year in 2025.
Bye, Gigi.
God bless everyone. Bye.